I miss high horsepower!
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Soulbase YouTube channel. Sorry for keeping it a little down low. This is WPF Delta Week 5. Another Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi Draft League battle. You know it. Hopefully you love it. If you're hyped for today's video, make sure to show that support to the video. We're doing intros again. I've been worried way too much about algorithm, way too much about numbers. Let's just dive straight into the action. Make sure to also, while you're down there, show some love to the WPF Delta coaches. Let's get into it. Why am I doing the video the way that I am? Look, I'm going to show you guys, right? Look. Look. So, here's the video. It's already recorded. Face cam and everything. It already has the voice and everything. I can play it for you right now, and I can confirm. Look. So it has the audio. So why am I doing a post-com? Well, there is one particular reason, and that is I was not really proud of the commentary that I gave in this video, and I don't really ever feel like I have felt that before, where I've been playing a match and I haven't been giving good commentary. And that is because there is a lot of commentary on this video that is really not productive in any way. It doesn't describe what's happening in the battle. It doesn't necessarily give you guys any good content, in my opinion. And therefore, I am not comfortable with sharing it. And therefore, I'm doing a post-com in this state that I am right now. There are some good parts of the commentary, and I will keep those in. And the first part is the intro. So I will play the intro for you, and then I will cover up, and with post-com, the commentary of the battle that I was not satisfied with for one reason or another. So let's get into it. Soul, take it away with the intro. And yeah, as you guys can see, I'm doing no glasses, no bandana. That is for when I'm in-game, locked in, ready to go. Don't really do that when I'm chilled out post-com. I have done that in the past. I'm not going to do it this time. It is 3:45 a.m. right now. I'm just trying to get this done, get this video up in time, and hopefully please the mods. I've been slacking a little bit on the upload in time. I am technically getting it on time right now before 6 a.m. That would be before midnight Eastern Standard Time. So technically we are within the confines of the rule set, but I want to be able to you know, not stress and do it last minute. So sorry to disrupt myself. Let's take it away. Alright, we're in it versus TJP. We have Manaphy Poison. We have Comfy Ground. So as you can see the terror types on screen. We got Cryo Dragon. 3 terror captains. We also got Landorus. We got Sneasler. And we got Rillaboom. Alright, so I don't really see a super reliable way of getting up. No Iron Bundle is crazy. I kind of outspeed everything with this. No Iron Bundle is definitely interesting, because that means Meowscarada has the highest natural base speed. That does not include Scarfers. Manaphy can be Scarf, Rillaboom can be Scarf, and Landorus can be Scarf. Technically, other mons can be Scarf, but I don't think it makes that much sense. Sneasler, maybe. I don't really see it. My main 2 contenders for Scarf are Rillaboom, Manaphy, and Landorus, with Landorus being the most likely. There's no Haxorus with first impression either. Kind of tempted to just lead Meowscarada. There's only Cryo to remove. But I don't want to have too much pressure with it. I think we lead Meowscarada this time. Let's go. Good luck, have fun to TJP, Mr. TJP. Happy to be back once again, once a week playing WPF Delta. We've been on a bit of a losing streak, but we're gonna be trying to get back into it. So make sure you watch the entire of the video. And that's still true. I do love playing in the WPF. I absolutely love it. Great people in there, moderators, players, spectators. I love the community, and I want to keep playing there for as long as possible. So WPF, if you're watching this, I'm having a great time still. This is probably where I'm going to cut off the commentary audio and go into it. I can explain my thought process a little bit more as we go along to help explain some of the things that I did. It helps explain some of the thoughts for the video. So as we can see in the lead, we have a Manaphy into my Meowscarada. And the main thing here is water is weak to grass. Meowscarada's Flower Trick does insane damage to a Manaphy. Of course, he's Terra Poison. I predicted him to be a Terra type that resists grass. Poison does resist grass, so that checks out. I've seen Mr. TJP run a lot of a specific Manaphy set, which is max HP, max defense, with the nature, Rocky Helmet, Mono Scald, Take Heart, Rest, Sleep Talk. Because Take Heart wakes you up from the sleep, and you're able to boost, you're physically defensive, and you're setting up special defensive boosts. So as though this looks like a good lead for me, it's not really a good lead for me, because Manaphy can just Terrasilize turn 1 and instantly counter my lead. If it didn't have Terrasilization, this would be a fantastic lead for me, because I am Protective Pads for his Rocky Helmet, which I predicted would be coming. But Meowscarada sadly does not get any coverage for Poison Terra, which makes this a bad lead in the start. Roll clip. So I'm debating my plays. I see that it's a bad lead instantly. I regret it. Manaphy is one of 2 Pokemon in this matchup that I really want to neutralize by switching an item onto. The Pokemon I have on my team that are going to do that job are first of all Gengar, who has Trick Choice Scarf to make sure that it can't really get off Calm Mind shenanigans or Take Heart shenanigans and sweep me. And the second would be Toxic Orb Klefki. Then again, I didn't predict specifically Terra type Poison, but you know, so that kind of doesn't really work out that much. So that's why I'm kind of relying on Gengar here. I want to be able to hopefully make him stay in and neutralize this thing as fast as possible. That's the game plan. He goes for a Take Heart. So he's now +1 special attack, +1 special defense, max HP, max defense is from what I'm predicting. Rocky Helmet. Once I trick it, if he stays in, once I trick this item, I can kind of confirm it. If it is Rocky Helmet, then I'll see that it confirms my suspicion. If it's not, then it's something else probably. Maybe a more offensive variant with maybe like max HP, max special attack, modest. We're going just straight for damage. I'll see what it is. I am faster because of the Choice Scarf, and I will be able to... the way it works when you're faster is that he gets to choose a move now that will be locked into. If he was faster than me, he would have attacked me, and then I would have locked it into that used move. But since I'm faster, and there's the Rocky Helmet confirming my suspicion. Scald comes off and does pretty good damage because it is boosted, +1. No special attack investment. And that pretty much confirms the entirety of the Manaphy build that I'm worried about. Gengar has done his job, switching out on a +1 Manaphy. My team cannot really handle that. And so I'm kind of just hoping for it to get some damage. Maybe he swaps out, knowing that I can punish this if Gengar goes down. He chooses to kill it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. You saw that? You saw that? Look. Look, 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 look. Look at where my eyes go. Look at where my eyes go. My eyes are down to the game. My eyes are down to the game. I click Shadow Ball. My eyes are down to the game. Skull comes out. Look, I instantly... Did you see that? Instantly swap away to watching at something else. I missed this curse body. I did not see this curse body go off. That's crazy. Did you see how frame perfect that was? The look away? That's crazy. So that was my first mistake of the game. Not watching... I mean, the Meowscarada lead, I feel like it had some use cases, I feel like leading Manaphy is kind of crazy because you're exposing it to the most damage possible with all 6 members being alive. It is an unfortunate lead. It's not a good lead on my part, knowing that Manaphy hard counters it like that, because it pretty much just comes in almost anyway. But at least I got the item over on it, so I don't really feel like that's a complete loss. But that was my first mistake, was not knowing that that Mr. TJP got cursed bodied here by Gengar. So let's roll the film. Let's keep on watching. Let's see what happens. It is an exciting battle. I'll give you that. I'll tell you that right now. It's an exciting battle, I think. Right. And we're soon going to be approaching the moment where I'm going to let the commentary come through again. Remembering back to it. Fond memories. We'll just you guys will just have to see it for yourselves. That's all I'm saying. You guys will have to see it for yourself. Yeah. So obviously I'm not going back into Meowscarada because it's just walled. Thinking of going Mamoswine. I have to hit it on the physical side because it's obviously boosted on the special side. So look, this is a situation where, in my perspective, I'm risking a Scald, right? Because obviously I don't think he's curse-bodied, and so he's faster than me because of the Scarf, and he's +1. And Stab, I know I live barely, but if this Scald burns me, then it's pretty hard to come back from. So it is a pretty risky play. However, I think it is as they say in the chess world, the best play in the position, considering the fact that he's curse body. So I accidentally make the best play. And if you have a keen eye on the observation as well, I just want to remind you guys, there was a Cryogonal in the team preview, and as you guys can see, this Mamoswine cannot, for the life of it, hit a Cryogonal. So I've actually managed to build a Mamoswine that's completely hard-walled by another member of his team, in a circumstance where it doesn't need to be. I could have ran something like Superpower, I could have ran something like Heavy Slam, and actually been able to threaten damage on the Cryogonal. Unless I'm 2 HP from a Cryogonal move like a Flash Cannon or whatever, then this Endeavor is not going to be able to kill him whatsoever. And then again, he outspeeds me and can recover. And it's just going to be a stall fest where Endeavor recover until he just kills me, stays low, and recovers it later, maybe. Yeah. But anyway, I go Mamoswine here. Obviously, I want to threaten the super effective. It's pretty... I'm contemplating, obviously, do you go Rillaboom here, maybe? Because you don't know that this Mamoswine is walled by Cryogonal. And then I see that it has no moves left to use. I see that it struggles and take 25%. And this is where I'll this is where I'll let the comedy the commentary shine through again. Let's replay that play. So I high horsepower into Poison Terra Manaphy without a boost on the physical side. Yes, it's max HP. Yes, it's max defense. This high horsepower has no chance to kill, but it does significant damage. Is obvious. Yeah, so what I said there was the switch out is obvious. Like, staying in here, it's obvious that he's going to want to switch out after I get a clean switch in. But then maybe he just wanted to risk... Like, I was hoping, kind of, he wanted to risk the Scald, and that I get this move off so I can actually cleanly get it out of the way. But then again, I've sacked an entire Pokemon just to replace its item. So I'm kind of already playing hardly from the back foot here. And that's partly because of the lead. So we'll see if I can manage to gain some ground here. But I think I want to do this just to get it out the way. Struggle? Has no move left. Struggle? And I don't even realize that it has been curse-bodied here. I understood that after the game. I have no clue why. In this current moment, I have no clue why it struggles. I have zero clue. The first thing that popped in my mind was that Scald ran out of PP after one use. That's how crazy I was thinking. Like, what happened here? And then, because I didn't think I missed anything because it was so frame perfect, right? What? It's so funny. I miss high horsepower! That's all you need to hear from the commentary. I miss high horsepower. And this high horsepower, after this struggle damage, people can calculate in the chat right now. I still think it barely has maybe a chance. I think the highest roll is like 77% or something. I'm actually unsure. It might just not have a chance to kill. But even if it doesn't have a chance to kill, okay? Getting this thing down in range is so crucial. So crucial. Because it's potentially Ice Shard range. It's not resistant to Ice Shard no more. I have hazards on my team. I have spikes on Klefki. If I can get those up, I know it has a Choice Scarf. It doesn't have boots. If I set up some spikes, I can kill it. I have sticky webs on Vikavolt. If I get those up with the Choice Scarf, I can kill it at low percent. This high horsepower miss was insanely huge for me. I don't want to understate this. That is mad unlucky. Playing from the back foot, a Mon down, bad lead, and I miss high horsepower. Some of it is self-inflicted, some of it is not. Let's keep rolling the film. So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, he just saw that high horsepower miss and his ass got bailed, so I don't think he's going to stay in and risk that again. I think 100% he's swapping to Rillaboom here, and I want the most damage possible. Avalanche is not going to get a boost unless I get attacked myself, so it's a huge throw if he's staying in. But then again, I don't understand why he's struggling. I know he's locked into struggle because of Choice Scarf, so I know he's switching, but I did not see this coming. So we do decent amount of damage. He has leftovers. Like that's decent for a non-boosted Avalanche. But the problem here is my Mamoswine has I think it has 60 special defense or something like that, 60 or 70. And I don't have any investment, I don't have an Assault Vest, I don't have anything to help me on the special side. So when he has Priority Draining Kiss, which is Stab, and heals 75% of damage dealt, then I am going to lose that trade in the big run, like in the long run, right? Because Draining Kiss out-prioritizes even my priority move Ice Shard, because it's +3 priority, and my Ice Shard is +1. I'm breaking it down for the new people. If there are any new people in the chat, let me know in the comments. Are there any new people here? Yeah. So I go Klefki, obviously, because it has a favorable type matchup, Steel into Fairy, and here comes the Calm Mind. And this is the second threat that I want to neutralize. I've already confirmed that I've semi-neutralized Manaphy. Yes, it's still strong. Scarf Scald can still do stuff, but at least it's not Take Heart, Rest, whatever, with Rocky Elm. Like, you see what I mean? Like, that's a lot more terrifying, so I've semi-neutralized it. This is the other one I want to neutralize. And I want to give myself credit for thinking about this, because I specifically identified the setup threats on his team, and I chose to go the item route to counter it. So I have a Toxic Orb on my Klefki. He's not going to see that ever proc on a Steel type, so he doesn't know I have item switch to counter this thing. He's probably going to fear some sort of Steel Beam, Flash Cannon, whatever, even with a Calm Mind up. My reasoning is like, if you Calm Mind again, like, you're faster than me if I attack you. Yes, you can be scared of a T-Wave potentially. I just think that over time, even though you trust last Manaphy, I actually think Comfey wins. Klefki doesn't have the best doesn't have the best stat distribution in the world. I am physically defensive. Comfey's a special sweeper with Calm Mind. It's gonna beat me eventually. So I have reasoning to think that he's gonna stay in, and hopefully I get off this switcheroo prankster with the Toxic Orb. But he might also think that strategy is coming and switch out because of it and be scared of it. Like, if I have something like a Lagging Tail or whatever, or maybe like another Choice Scarf, maybe something really bad to send over to him. So I think there's a little bit stronger case for him swapping out here than staying in, but I was very convinced of him staying in this turn. And there's my reasoning. Maybe it makes sense for some, maybe it doesn't make sense for others. Leftovers comes out. There it is. And I know, just like, if I switcheroo, there's other items I can kind of give this thing that would be bad for it. Choice Scarf it wouldn't like. Maybe an Assault Vest if that's somewhere. I can get that. Heavy duty boots wouldn't be the most awesome thing in the world, but at least then I get heavy duty boots on my Klefki, which wouldn't be too bad. And then he swaps out. He does go for the decision to lose his Calm Mind boost and swap out. Goes to Big Brother, which is the Landorus, and I highly expect to get a Choice Scarf here. And so I do. So he gets a Toxic Orb, which actually procs at the end of this turn, giving him the Toxic status. So even if I switcheroo again and switch the items back to the original state, then he still has the Toxic on him, which is good for me, and then I can counter the Comfy later. But that would heavily depend on me relying on him not clicking Earth Power this turn. He would have to click something else, like a U-turn, like a Sludge Wave, predicting something to come in. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he clicks Earth Power this turn, my Klefki goes straight out the window, and I was not willing to risk that. Maybe that's something I should have risked on this turn, because it would have paid off. I see now in hindsight. Easy to speak from hindsight, though, when you're in the battle. The stakes are higher. You know, things are different. You know how, you guys know how it is. You guys know how it is. We've officially passed 4 a.m. Give me some rage emojis in the chat, baby. Holy shit. So, the game is heating up. The game is getting intense. I am enjoying watching it back, actually. The commentary on the high horsepower miss was enjoyable. Grassy Surge comes out. Only affects Rillaboom. Not on this turn, though. It's full HP. And I'm above ground, which does not make me affected by terrain because of my Levitate ability. So this is a bug versus a grass type situation. So that was not a resisted U-turn, but it was a U-turn that did a lot of damage because he's max attack, right? I just want to get my webs up here because I know that I can slow the Scarf Manaphy down. I can slow the Comfey down if it's not using triage boosted moves. And then in comes this. So if a spinner, listen, before I let this go through, you've already seen it from the thumbnail, right? You know who's going to Terra Slice in this video. I'm Terra Slicing my Vikavolt into Ghost Type here to prevent the Rapid Spin. If you switch in a Cryogonal on my Vikavolt, I am prone to believe you're going to Rapid Spin, even though you know I have Terra Ghost. And the Terra Ghost is just to drive that point home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like in the moment I really needed Sticky Webs to be gone. My Dragon Terra on the Raging Bolt was primarily to counter Skeledirge with Draco Meteor Unaware. Skeledirge does not come to this matchup, so I did not necessarily think about needing the extra damage on only Draco Meteor specifically to nuke something. So I thought if I can guaranteed Webs to stay up, even if he doesn't click Rapid Spin this turn, Webs will stay up, and I can play around that and maybe claw my way back into the game. Because at that point, Meowscarada, what am I saying? Meowscarada. It kind of punishes Manaphy if it doesn't go for a Scald. It punishes really hard. I don't think he ever goes for not a Scald, though, if he's staying in and has a Choice Scarf, so maybe that's a poor reasoning. It outspeeds everything it needs to still, I guess. It does need to outspeed Meowscarada. It still outspeeds the Mamoswine. Another reasoning on the Mamoswine was I had the Pawshill Berry on it. I had the Water Resist Berry. So I knew I could tank one Scald at +1. So that was kind of some extra insurance. I just needed to not burn. I was kind of prepared to tank that play. Yeah, so we Terra Ghost here anyway. We'll see how the big battle progresses from there. This is the first time in the season I Terra Slice a non-Raging Bolt. Let's see if it can pay off. Obviously, him clicking Rapid Spin on a potential Terra Ghost would be giving me a free turn. So I kind of respect not going for it a lot. But this is where, listen, look at this. Look at this, look at this, look at this. This is a max special attack, modest Vikavolt with super effective Flash Cannon, and it doesn't 2-ko the Cryogonal. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Anyway, I think I should have Volt switched here. I think this was a fairly obvious Volt switch. You Volt Switch because you know he can't Rapid Spin, pretty much. So either he swaps out and I get momentum unless it's Landorus, which would suck hard. And that's kind of what I was scared of, Landorus coming in for free. But a Volt Switch, every other time Landorus is not coming in, it is giving me free momentum, and I get less damage than this. Slightly less damage. Slightly. Because Volt Switch's stab goes to 105, Flash Cannon goes to 140, so it's quite a chunk bit less damage. But at least I gain the perspective. Oh. Again, the momentum, and I can preserve my Ghost Terra for later. I'll stand by this. Vikavolt losing Roost was a generational fumble by Game Freak. I feel like Vikavolt in Gen 8 was in an environment to prospect, and taking away Roost from a mon that already struggles in the metagame is just, yeah, it's a death sentence, really, in my opinion. Yes, I know, like, Specs Vikavolt is really good, Heavy Duty Boots Vikavolt is really good, but Heavy Duty Boots Vikavolt was really good with Roost. Assault Vest Vikavolt is really good. I'm getting too much into Vikavolt right here, like a tangent on Vikavolt. That's a topic for another day. But yeah, if I had Roost here, I would be so in love with clicking Volt Switch. Was my main point. Was my main point. But I'm really surprised about that damage not even doing 50% to a Cryogonal. It pretty much confirms he's max HP something. Little bit investment in special defense maybe. It's got a pretty chunky SPDF stat at 135. Uninvested. And even invested if he's like max HP, max special defense. No shot that I totally understand me not breaking through. So now I go for a Volt Switch, figuring I don't really have a good Freeze Dry switch in. Which is not necessarily true. Because Mamoswine has ice, has thick fat. And so that's kind of taking a lot less from it. I have a Klefki who, yes, doesn't necessarily take a lot of damage. But the problem with going those mons, look at this. Look at Cryogonal. Look at Cryogonal here. Mamoswine is walled by it. It's faster than every single thing that I have except for Meowscarada. And if I can't prove that Meowscarada will kill it, then he's just getting the Rapid Spin off for free, even though I did Terra Ghost. I'm putting a lot of progress into the... Like, I'm putting a lot of thought into trying to get progress and setting up for a late game here. I've semi-neutralized the Manaphy. I have gotten chip damage on his only Rapid Spinner, his only way to remove Sticky Webs, which are now up on the field. I believe they are. Yeah, they are. So, yeah. Like, everything is kind of set in the air for Raging Bolt to do great stuff late game, even though it doesn't have the Terra anymore. Like Mamoswine, Meowscarada, and Raging Bolt. Klefki is kind of semi-neutralized as well, just because of the Choice Scarf. But I only have one play here if I want to keep up my Sticky Webs, and that is go Meowscarada, and that is to prove that it doesn't die. So I go Meowscarada, naturally, that's what I do. And now I have to hit it as hard as I can. That's like the only... Because if he stays in and gets that Rapid Spin off, my Vikavolt with Ghost Terra... I blew my Terra for nothing. I threw my Vikavolt in the garbage for nothing. But at the same time, I know he's not staying in. I know he's going to Manaphy. Manaphy is his designed counter to this. So I wanted to get the most damage off as possible. Should I have doubled here? Maybe. You can totally argue I should have doubled here. I can totally see that play, like the Raging Bolt or something. I just figured this would do decent damage. It does not really do decent damage. And even with the grassy terrain, locking in a Flower Trick would not really do that much damage. I do Protect just because I know he's Choice Scarf and I want to see what he locks himself into. If it's something like Arrest, I can go really aggressive on that. I don't really mind revealing Protect because it is to stop Choice Scarfers on the opponent's side. It was originally to stop Landorus from clicking something crazy or seeing, like, pivoting around it easier. It changes me to a normal type so I don't get quad weak to if he clicks U-turn on me, for example. So I was really fond of this Protect tech. Don't really hate that I brought that at all. Though I do have some regrets about this current build. So I'm 2 months down and I have to, like, I'm starting to think about how do I set up for an offensive play? And I was like, well, if he's scalding, I don't really want to risk a burn on my physical attackers, and Raging Bolt is going to still struggle to get through this in some sort of fashion just because he can go like Comfey. So I thought about going Klefki and just getting spikes up. Now, he withdraws, and this is where I realize not here necessarily. So he goes this. I set up spikes, yeah, and he knows I'm Choice Scarf. He knows I'm Choice Scarf into spikes. That he knows for sure. I get a poison turn on the Landorus. It's nothing but chip at this point. And I'm thinking I'm cycling through my moves here, but here's where I make the second grave mistake of the game. It's clicking spikes again. Because what this allows him to do is you turn into Cryogonal and get a guaranteed rapid spin off because I no longer have my ghost type. And that would not only remove all the progress of the spikes that I've set up, it would completely eliminate the sticky webs, which I sacrificed a Terra Astalization and a Pokemon for. So I just give him this very free passageway back into the game. Or like not even back into the game, like to really run away with the game. Like he's been taking the lead so far, slowly but surely chipping away at my team and making me play for really aggressive utility. Because I don't think my team can just like outpower his. That's what, at least what I convinced myself. Maybe it's not true. So yeah, so me clicking spikes here, you'll see it right here. Very good play by Mr. TJP. He's playing very good this game. But then again, I'm also, if I'm being honest with myself so far, I'm kind of outplaying myself pretty hard. Like I'm in my own head. Like I'm doing way too much. You know what I'm saying? You've heard that term and expression before. Doing too much. You're doing too much. I don't think I've clicked an attacking move in like 3 turns. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm switching, I'm setting up spikes, I'm setting up sticky webs, I'm switching items with trick. I'm doing way too much here. And the idea on paper is relatively stable, but I'm not getting where I want to. And I'm starting to realize that. I do, like you can see the pain in my expression here, that I do realize that this rapid spin is basically costing me the game. Because now all my progress was for naught, and it's not a moment it's not a play that I'm proud of, right? It's not something I'm proud of. I don't really think I thought that second spike layer through. The first spike layer was okay, but he could have gone straight Cryogonal there as well. So it's just hard. I'm going for a Draco Meteor, lowering my special attack. He is faster than me. He has access to recover. Goes for a recover, and I minus, and I've used now I've used my booster special attack for nothing. It's just I'm kind of throwing all these ideas and spitballing everything around, throwing everything I have essentially on this team at him, and there's just nothing that sticks. Yes, the high horsepower miss was incredibly huge. Don't get me wrong. I feel like that would have been a great opener to the game. Because if Manaphy is low, then you saw Manaphy come in as I threatened the Cryogonal, right? He would have to go something else. And yes, he has other team members. Not going to sit here and say that it's a clean win for me whatsoever, because there's still a Comfey that I'm struggling to get through. But it's at least a game I feel like I get to play. At this point, I feel like it's an uphill slope, and I'm shoveling against the tide, it feels like. And I'm not trying to get like too into it, like too talking about the result before it happens. You know, I don't want to get in the spirit of it. But anyone who has any sense of competitive Pokemon here, I think can clearly see at least that I'm struggling. And most of my struggles in this battle are very self-inflicted. And now I'm going for a very desperation play. I'm hard calling a non-Earth power for a spike. Not going to happen this time, and Klefki goes down for a layer of spike. And that's really not something that I need when I still need to neutralize that Comfey. And as you guys saw, I also gave him I'm pretty sure I gave him the Choice Scarf back for the Toxic Orb as well. So now he's back in a position to kind of outspeed stuff. Sticky Web Sticky Webs would not affect him either way, but at least then my Meowscarada could have outsped him if it didn't have the Scarf, and I could cleanly triple axle it and kill it. The same kind of goes for Rillaboom. I could protect and remove my U-turn weakness and go for a triple axle. So I feel like that would have put me in a pretty good position as well. That Manaphy being healthy is just such an obstacle for my team. Some would say it's a dagger. Some would say it's a massive low taper fade. Me connecting with the youth that's pushing 30, that's crazy. I need to calm down, but yeah, so he has Comfy as well, which is also physically defensive, and it just, I don't know. I don't want to say it's a necessarily super good matchup for him. I don't want to bail out, like, I don't want to, like, it feels like I'm egoing saying that, because I feel like the matchup is pretty even. So far in this battle, I've made a lot of plays that don't make sense, or a lot of plays that have been punished correctly by my opponent. And I can't really blame anyone for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just happens sometimes. You get in a rut, you overcomplicate things, you get into your own head. You're starting to let the pressure come for you. It's much more of a mental game than people think. Like, obviously, the same goes for chess, right? It's not like a game like League of Legends where you're going to click around all the time and you're going to be like technical skill matters a lot. It's all mental, this game. It's all mental. Like, it's only strategy. It's only it's basically only strategy, right? And sometimes you have to risk it for the biscuit, and it doesn't work. Obviously here, I'm trying to get some damage off for some progress. I know it's losing 1v1. And as you can see here, hands on my head, I kind of didn't protect, and remove my typing before I tanked a super effective Drain Kiss from Triage going first. But at the same time, if I don't turn, like now I'm a grass type and I'll take less from Draining Kiss, that's what I say here. If I don't turn into a grass type after tanking the Draining Kiss, I do less damage as well. So I don't know if it's really worth it, but you can see this Draining Kiss is just way too much for Masquerade to deal with. It gets outsped and hit for super effective. And even neutral, it does a lot. So that's where I'm kind of feeling stuck in a way. Just to give you some insight here. Draining Kiss is going to finish me off. Obviously, it's Comfey. Non-Terra Comfey can still be a menace, especially when my Gengar's not here for a super effective move. My Klefki's not here for a super effective move. Yes, it has Calm Mind for both of those. My Mamoswine is not low enough to Endeavor it. My Raging Bull doesn't really have a way to counter it. And it's one of those cases where I feel like in the builder of this battle, I focused too specifically on the mons that I tried to counter, right? So I tried to specifically counter Manaphy and Comfey, and it ended up making it so that I ended up with less stuff for like Cryogonal to run away with the game. I feel like Cryogonal was such a huge piece here, being able to get off that rapid spin. Mamoswine not being able to threaten it and go in on it. And threaten it with like a super effective Heavy Slam, which also would have been coverage for Comfey that I'm realizing now. Would have been absolutely huge. Heavy Slam instead of Endeavor would have absolutely been my preferred choice here in hindsight, and maybe an Assault Vest instead of a Pasho Berry, which is way more universal. But I can't really do anything but give credit here. But the commentary here is pretty... I'm beating myself down pretty hard for this. It feels a lot worse in the moment than it does looking back at it. Like, I've had a lot more time to reflect on this battle, and I'm kind of looking at some of the moments here where I feel like I did some good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still clicked high horsepower on Manaphy staying in. That was kind of lucky of him because he meant to swap out and didn't look at the screen. He told me after the battle. But it was still the right play. I don't really mind Gengar going down. I feel like Ghost Terroring the Vikavolt was a bad play. I feel like there's definitely an abundance of bad plays in this battle. But at the end of the day, you can't play perfect all the time. You see this Calm Mind Comfey is going to beat me as well. high horsepower for some extra damage. It does a lot, but it's not enough because of the draining kiss being so strong, and especially stronger now. And I kind of call the next event here. I'm like, oh, what if I'm left at low HP? Endeavor would have been crazy here. As you can see, I'm pretty annoyed by that myself here for not clicking Endeavor, because I ironically called it. iShard doesn't even, yeah, it doesn't even go before Draining Kiss. So Comfy kind of just takes what the remains I have here, and it's gonna be a 6-0 loss, right, where I don't get a kill, but I don't feel like that's unjustified. I feel like that's very justified for how I play this battle. And I have to just look deep within me and say that being 6-0 like this doesn't necessarily determine who I am. I have Pokemon is very closely tied to my identity, and I somehow like tie some of my integrity to it, and whenever I lose, I just feel like I'm letting people down, and that I'm not good enough, and that I don't deserve to be where I am or do what I do. But after reflecting some on it, I definitely think that if you are going to be the best you can possibly be, you have to at some point stop by your lowest low. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that this battle is my lowest low. I've definitely had losing streaks before. But it's one of those moments, like, this is just me being open and honest. Thank you guys so much for watching this video to this point. If you made it to this point, please leave a comment. I appreciate you guys so much. This is just going to be me getting a little real with you at the end, because I'm going to explain some of my thoughts around this battle. And just, like, overall losing and how that affects me. Because I used to come, you guys know me, right? When I'm unfiltered, I come in with this high energy. Win or loss, we throw everything against the wall. And that's not going to change in the future videos. Not going to change at all. I'm going to go in, be myself, not really, like, I'm obviously going to do everything in my power to win. I always do. I always will, and I always do. Even in my 09 season in WPF with the Iron Bundle, I didn't get the results I wanted, but at least I never gave up. And that will still ring true. That will always ring true for as long as I play this game. I will never give up. I'm just resilient. I'm a stubborn guy. I believe in myself, and I like to believe in myself. I will never give up. Like, that's kind of the name behind the Soul Blaze, right? There's a soul on fire there, has a passion for something. No matter what happens, win or lose, we're still going to give it our all. We're still going to have fun. We're still going to come back every single week and make it better and better and better and build something. Because that's, at the end of the day, I'm not here to be something. I'm here to build something. I want to leave behind a legacy that people can be, like, inspired of. I want to stay in the game for as long as my body allows me to. I love playing this game, and I always have. And it used to be this thing where, in childhood, Pokemon was there for me when no one else was. I was this little kid in the schoolyard playing on my Game Boy. I had very little friends. I got bullied a lot, and it was hard. It was one of those things where when Pokemon was the hot stuff in the schoolyard, like, I was a cool kid. Like I knew every type matchup. Like I won a lot of battles. Like, I knew my shit. But when Pokemon stopped being cool in the schoolyard, then I was just like couldn't get lower, like, as a social status, like, as a kid. I think. I remember I got hit. It was so bad. Anyway, I've been playing this game for 20 plus years. And I don't think I'll ever stop, right? And it's one of those things where, from my childhood, it got so ingrained into me that if I lost in the one thing I was supposed to be good at, then I had no worth. I had no worth whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if I couldn't win at the thing I'm good at, like, okay, what am I then? Like, I put so much, like, I just naturally over time, by never stopping playing, by always just being interested in being the best player I can be, I put so much investment into it that it's kind of like well, if I can't make it every time I try, like what's wrong there? Like what's left? You know what I'm saying? But I've come to the realization that I have to stop thinking this way. It's very destructive thinking this way. And if you have some kind of element in your life that you feel like is affecting you like this too, then definitely reevaluate your relationship to it, maybe. Because it doesn't have to be that way. And I've realized I've come so far. I can't just look at the bad. I have to look at the positives too. I have to look at the great stuff I've done. I have to look at the times I've helped people, the times I've felt unstoppable. You know, when the tournaments I've won, the friendships I've made. You know, I can't just, like, it's so easy to focus on the negative. So yeah, I'm gonna go forward in every single video as always and give it my absolute all. The energy will be there. I think I'll stop caring more about the algorithm of YouTube and just doing videos that I want to do, because at the end of the day, if people like my content or me and want to watch it, then they're gonna stick around. If they're not, then that's okay too. You know, not everything can be for everyone. I already understand that I'm in a very deep niche when it comes to this stuff, and whatever I can get out of it, I have to take. You know what I'm saying? Like, every single one of you guys watching this, I appreciate every single one of you for making it this far. If you've made it this far, it means a lot to me. Know that I'm doing okay. I definitely had some mental reroutings with this fight. It kind of broke me down a little bit at some points, but I'm okay now, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you guys also enjoy wherever your passion is in life. I hope you enjoy it as much as I love Pokemon. And yeah, that's gonna be it for WPF Delta Week 5. Very random tangent to go on, very personal. If you're watching this at the watch party, I'm very, very interested. Please let me know. Yeah, I appreciate everything. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys for the next week. I can't wait. And I'm just happy to be playing. This has been your boy Soulblaze. And as always, I'll be signing off with a smile. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!